Hey guys, so welcome back to the second part of this video. So today what I wanted to show you guys again was actually how to draw this thing in Fusion. So just remembering our dimensions of what we sort of set out in our plan, and it's going to have about 6 components over here as we can sort of see. So I'll get stuck straight into it. So using those dimensions, I'm just going to create a new drawing here. So we'll start with our base. Right click and create a new component, and we'll call it base. And click OK, so we've got our base there. Once we've done that, we'll go into creating a new sketch. And we said it was going to be about 280 long and about 30 high. So I type in 280 and then tab 30 high. It's a good starting point. Finish that sketch, drag it out. So I'll go into here and actually go into symmetric. So let's go at about 60 millimeters, maybe even a little bit more, maybe 70 millimeters for that, and hit enter. So once we have that first part, that's our base. We'll go up and actually start on our new component, and we'll call this the base connector. Okay, and I'll start with a sketch on the sketch plane here. And what we can do, we can actually pick up some of the points from here to use in our sketch in our new part. So if I go down to create project, and we project some points like this point here and this point here, then click OK, we can then draw using our line tool and draw out, and we set about 80 millimeters out and hit enter. Okay, and then what I want to do, we'll create another part here. Now we can start taking this construction line off, and let's start with a line at about 15 millimeters out that way. Enter, zoom in a little bit, and we'll draw another line out the other way at 15 millimeters. Enter, and we'll then draw some lines up this way. Okay, and what I can do, let's make these parallel. If I click that, it's got to be parallel to that one. So we've now made that parallel. And I'll press the letter D for dimension, and let's make that, we set about 80, didn't we, degrees. So that brings that up there. And then I can actually join okay, so now we can constrain that part there, which is good. Go OK, and I'll finish that sketch for the moment. So what we'll do, let's, depending on your design, I'm going to go for a pretty straightforward one at the moment. So I'm just going to drag that out symmetrically. So we'll take that out, let's say 40, maybe 50, close to 25 millimeters each side. And go OK. So we have our start of our base. Not fully done yet. Now, what I can do, let's just turn off the base for a second by clicking off the image tool there, and what I'll do, I'm just going to rotate that round to the other side, and we can then do a drawing on this area here. So if I draw a circle, so I'm going to find the midpoint, which is around there, and let's make it a pretty big circle. Let's make it about a 20 millimeter diameter circle and finish that sketch, and we'll extrude that out about 25 millimeters and go OK, because we're going to end up putting this into the base, but we're going to 3D print that part as well. Okay, so what I do want to do now, let's we'll make another plane where we're going to join this in. So because we want to join our next piece, so I already see something that I want to fix, which I want to change this angle up here, so it would join into our wooden piece at square. So let's just turn that base back on again and see what it looks like together. So we need to combine those two in a minute. So if I, first of all, go into modify and I combine, so I've got our target body, which we can select this one. Now our tool body is this one here, and we're going to cut, and we're going to keep our tools and go OK. So if I now turn off the base connector, you'll see that it's actually done a perfect little hole in there for us. So that's actually a little handy tip there. So going back into the base connector again, if I activate that, and what I want to do, we'll go down into our sketches, which is this sketch here, and we'll edit the sketch. And I do want to keep it at 90 degrees, so I'm going to draw another line from that point out there, somewhere at the moment. And let's make this one line has to be perpendicular to that line. Okay, and let's delete this line here. And we can actually extend this one out a little bit further by extending this line out to that line. Okay, and we'll just cut that there. Finish that sketch, and now we have our first part, or our second part now, almost done. Now, next thing, what I'd like to do is go in here, and we're going to drill another hole in the top of that. So if I click on that sketch there, and let's just draw a center or rectangle from the center rectangle. So if I drag along here and find the middle point, and then drag down here, well, we actually have to go from the middle of that one out. And we'll draw a center rectangle. And let's make this, say, 25 wide and 15 high. Finish that sketch, and we'll drill down into that. So select that one, push it down. So 20 millimeters in there. Okay, so I think this is looking now pretty good. So that's that. Those two parts done. Next one, what we want to do, we actually want to draw another piece of wood. Okay, so we're going to create a new component up here, and we'll call that the connector wood. Okay, and we'll just click a surface that we're going to start our sketch on, and what I'll do is going to pick that surface in there, and once we've got that bit there, we're then going to project some of these corners here to help us draw the next piece. So what I can do is get down here and click project, and I'll just click on those little corners there so I know where we're going from to help make it a bit easier for us to draw this. Okay, and then once we've done that, click OK, and then we'll start getting into our drawing. So first thing I'll do is I'm just going to draw a box all the way over that, which is good. Finish that sketch, and we're just going to extrude that whole surface out. And once we've got that selected there, what we'll do, we're going to extrude that out, and we'll send that out to about 240 out. So we'll just extend that out 240 millimeters out. So extend that piece out there, which is good. Go OK. And what we'll then do, let's just turn on some of these other connectors here, and we'll just see how we're looking with that. Okay, and I'm just turning back on some of these bodies here. Let's have a look out here. Connector, we've got our origin, just turning on some of these other parts here. Let's get back out here. Okay, so once we're coming out, what we're going to do, we're going to combine, and we're going to do that combine against our target body is that piece there, and our tool body is, sorry, so our tool body is this piece here, and our target body is that piece there. And we're going to cut away, and we're going to keep the tools go OK. So now we have our two pieces there. So if I turn off the base connector, you'll be able to see it's actually created this shape in there. Okay, so that's pretty good. You can turn that origin off. You can sort of see what we're looking at. And yeah, so once we do that, we can do the same for the next piece. So I'll turn on the base there. Now, what we can do, we can start to, obviously this piece here, we can make it any shape we like. I'm just doing as an example. We can do another sketch on that and do a shape on that if you'd like. Okay, so this next, okay guys, so now we've got we're going to draw our top part on top of this. Okay, so let's get stuck straight into it. So first thing we'll do is we create a new component, and we'll call that top connector, and we'll select create a new sketch up the top here, and what we can do, I'll just draw a shape up here, straight onto that, and we'll use our center rectangle on the center of this. So found that, go across into the middle and out. I know it's 15 millimeters high, so type in 15, and it's 25 millimeters wide. And go OK. So we'll finish that sketch off there. Okay, and then what we're going to do, first thing we'll do is we'll project down. We'll project up actually these two shapes here, and go up 40 millimeters up. I'll just type in 40 and go OK. Then what we want to do, we'll go underneath and we can go back down and we can turn this sketch back on here. And I'm just going to turn the wood connector, which is the wooden part, off, and just highlighting that part there. And we want to go down and extrude down into the wood. So let's just turn it back on, and we're extruding it out. We're going to come down 20 millimeters down and go OK. So we now have our shape in our timber, which is working really well for us. So next step is, once we've done that, we can turn that sketch off again up there, turn our wood connector is on there, we'll go back out into the main drawing. Okay, and we have, I'll just turn off some of those other sketches here. So we have our drawing here. Now, next part is we've got to draw our top point. So I'm going to select a view up here. So selecting that, and I'm going to draw a shape. Hopefully this is going to work, and I'll draw a shape here of 30 high. Press enter, and hopefully we can actually extrude that out now by finishing a sketch and hitting extrude. We can, and we're going to go both ways because I think we wanted to make it go get two-sided. So let's drag this one out and hit this way, and another piece out that way, and we're going to just join it in. So we need to come out, say out this side, we need to come out, say 40 millimeters out that way, and we're going to do the about 60 out this way. Let's have a look at that side view. Basically right, maybe 65 if I get my math right. And that's just going to be a join. I'm going to join that together and go OK. So we have our next part, we're almost finished this now, so we can then draw in our next shapes here. So let's draw a new sketch on. Well, we're going to create a new part now, so let's close that off. And I'm just going to finish that sketch show, and we'll go up here, we're going to right click a new component, and we're going to call this top lamp holder. wood. Okay, and we'll pick a surface which is going to be on that surface there, and use that sketch, and we can extrude that out by a distance which was about 240, but I think I'm just going to eyeball this actually and have a look and see what we want to make it go out to. So let's say 400 out, looks about right, and go OK. Now I've added this other piece at the back here. We can add another piece of wood in there if we'd like. Completely up to you guys. So what I will do on this piece now, I'm just going to turn off the top connector and I'm going to draw another sketch on that plane there. And let's just do that same basic rectangle again. We have to create a circle, sorry, our rectangle, center rectangle, go down, find the center of that across, and I'll go 15 to 25. Enter. We have that. And what we'll do now, okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to extrude out another part from here. So we'll just take this out. So if I just extrude this piece out here, 25 millimeters, and go OK. So that's joined in there. And if I look at our top connector, which is in there, so we have our top connector and we have our, we'll turn them both back on again. And so what we want to do, we will combine these two. So our target body is this, our tool body is going to be this, and we're going to cut and we're going to keep our tools. So let's have a look what happened here. Hopefully this actually works. So if we're going to turn off that there should be a hole in there, which there is, which is great. And we now have the next part, which is we have our projection here. So how do we hide some of these cables now? So what we can do is, like, if we look at this, we can have a channel coming down in our bottom of our lamp here. So I'm just going to draw a shape on here. Okay, to draw that shape in there, we're going to just select the face on our drawing here. So I'll just turn this shape back on, and I'm just going to select in that the face that I want to draw on. And I'll just get rid of some of these other parts out of the drawing for the moment. I'll just draw a construction line down the middle, so stay on the center. And what we'll do then, we'll actually just grab a center rectangle, and I'm just going to drag a box up to about there. I'm going to turn off the construction line, and I'll just do it 500 by about 10 wide, and go OK, and drag it down a little bit so it stays in the area that I want it to stay. We need a little bit of a gap there, so when the light shines it should be okay. Finish that sketch now. I'm just going to extrude that in a little bit. The shape right there, so I'm just going to extrude that in about 5 millimeters, or -5, sorry. Okay, and that's our first indent in the wood. Okay, now we can turn some of these other parts back on now. And we've made this channel here all the way through. So what we need to do, I think we need to come out the back through this part here, all the way through out the back, so you can drop our cord down. So if I turn off our connector here, this one, and I'm just going to draw a little sketch on this, on the surface here, and we do a little rectangle angle on that. And we said it was 10 millimeters wide. Or 3 millimeters in, which is actually going to be 6 millimeters, because it's 3 millimeters up, 3 millimeters down, 15 wide. Enter. And what we're going to do, we're just going to extrude, here's that sketch, and we'll extrude that section all the way through back there. Was it 15? I think it was not 15, but okay, I think it was actually 10. So let's just go back into that sketch again. Which other sketch it was. There's a sketch here. Edit the sketch, and it was actually 10 wide. And then I'll change that. So now we have a place where we can push our cord through. It's looking good. We turn our top lamp holder connected part back on. And we have a place where we can stick our wires down there. Now, while I've got you guys, what I'll quickly do now is that's getting close to being finished there. What we'll do, let's give it some modify, and we'll turn on some physical materials here. So I've sort of already started to shape some of these, so we'll do that in that colour, black plastic for the rest of it. And then in this surface down here, let's actually have a look at some, we're just going to search electronic, let's do additive. Let's search for that in the materials database in a second. Okay, we're just going to go into modify appearance, and when that comes up, what I want to do, I'm actually going to select, you can actually search for things in here, so I'm just going to change this face here, which is going to be in there. I'm going to change that to an LED surface, and it's going to look really good. We'll go into that, and I'm also going to change it to that surface there into LED. Okay, and then wood. And down the bottom. Okay, close that, and what we can do now, guys, I'll quickly show you in about 2 minutes. We're going to do a quick render. Okay, guys, so what we want to do now, we want to connect up this into make an actual drawing, so we can actually take these out and actually make it in the woodwork room. So what we can actually do, we'll create a new drawing, and we can actually just take that straight out and print it into the woodwork, and we can take it with us into the woodwork room. So what I might do, let's just place in a base part to start off with. I'm just going to do the drop down and actually see which parts we've got here. So if I right click on that and edit, okay, it brings up the other parts that I want to project. So if I want to say, for example, just do one part, let's just work on the base, for example, at the moment. So we have a base view there, then you can easily project out other parts to it, like side view and this part here, and we'll click OK. And we can actually scale that up a little bit. So if we just go edit view and we want to make that scale 1 to say 1 to 2, let's say, might be a bit big, but let's go 1 to 3 or 4 even, and go OK. So it brings the size down a little bit. So we have that, and this is a top view, front view, side view, and we can sort of zoom in and we can just get some basic dimensions off that. So we know it's 280 long, 140 wide. We know where our hole that we're going to drill is going to be like diameter 20, and we can sort of locate the position of it from there to there is 80, and there to there is 70. Okay, so you get a bit of an idea. This is quite rough, the dimensions, but that's okay for now. It's just for you guys. Then what we can do, we will then add another drawing into this by just clicking on down here, and we can actually do the base view and go OK. And then I want to then do the base connector part, which is that one there. And let's just edit that view, and you can actually scale that. And let's just do that 1 to 1 actually, because that's actually quite a small part. So front view, you can project the views out, top view, side view, what it looks like in there, and then you can start to dimension this out. Now, also what you can actually do, you can actually turn these, edit this view, and we'll just make it a wireframe, like with the hidden details, so you can sort of see what's going on inside. And what we can actually do, we can then start to dimension this a little bit. So we know it's going to be 65, we know from that side to there is 20, down at 20. We know our hole depth now is going to be 20 deep, and we're just sort of clicking around, making little dimensions. We know the width is, what did we say, it was 50 wide that we made this. So you get an idea of what it's going to look like. Probably not needed like in depth, not fully all needed. Let's just edit this view and we'll make that one into our view there. Close that. Add in. So we can actually just keep adding these parts as we want to. So like if I hit the base view again, and I'll just do the top, place that in, and I just want to go OK, and I'll just do the top connector piece, this one, because they're the ones I really want to focus on. Well, actually, we do need this long piece of wood here. So we need these two pieces, actually, not so much this piece. I wonder if we can actually drag or break these apart. Not really. Edit view, no. So we'll just deal with these one at a time. So we'll just do that, and then I can zoom in, and we'll actually edit that view. Let's make it 1 to say 3. And go OK. Then I'll do front view, and then we'll do a top view of that. So up there, top view, side view, and actually see what it looks like underneath there. So we won't make that one, because what we're going to do, we'll actually be able to see it when we edit these views and turn them into the wireframe with dimensions. Same for that one as well. And if you we'll just turn it into wireframe. We did that for all of them. But let's just edit that one and turn that on. Okay, and you can sort of then also start to add some dimensions in there for that. So we get the dimension tool, and it's 400 long. These are good because when you come to me and actually ask me for some timber, I know how much to give you and things like that. Oops. Just there. These are all going to help you to make your parts a lot easier. Okay, there's that one there. You can also, I wonder if we can actually add in, I'll just delete that without mentioning that bit. And actually going here, we're going to add another view in. We can actually add 2 views in on the same one, and let's this time go OK, and we just need the wood, connector wood is the other piece we really need. and let's scale that up, edit that view, and look at 1, 2, 3, and we can then do project some out there, and there. Okay, that's all we really need, and we'll do some dimensions again. That the total length of the wood is 240, and the width is 25. Yeah. Okay, and that height was 15, and the depth was reached from 20. It's 22 as well. Okay, so you should be able to make your part from that when we go into woodwork and cut that out of wood. Okay, so then once we've got those, we can easily print those out now by just going drawing and then print, and we'll send that off to the printer to print these out. And then you'll have your sheets done for that. Also, when we get back into our lamp here, I'm just going to jump back across while I've got you guys, and we can just turn off some of the bits we don't need, such as these are the two that we really need. We can actually go file, export, and we're just going to save it as a 3MF file, and we're going to put on lamp bits. Then you put your name there as well, so we can actually export that. And then I'm just going to open up in the Bamboo Lab. So you're going to prepare, and then we're going to add our models in from the downloads, and we're going to chuck those in there. Okay, we have our parts there, which is good. Then what we can actually do, you can actually split into objects, and we then have to arrange it on the Bamboo slicer for what we want it to do. So click off that and just drag one of them at a time. And I want you to lay it on the face. So it lays on the face, which is going to be easy to print. So I'm thinking the best way to print this one would be probably on a face like that there. And okay, now we'll use the slicer. What we're going to do, we've got to turn on our X1E, and we're going to the quality or the strength, and we'll turn this up a little bit. And we want to do the sparse and fill because these are going to be parts we're going to use. Might change that to about 80% in there. Okay, and we're just going to arrange that next to it. Support, we don't really need any support there, although it would be good to have some support inside there, but I think that should be fine. Slice the place now. We'll run a slicing mechanism, and if I can share what it's going to look like in terms of what it's going to look like cut up, and that's pretty good. So and then we just can go into print the plate, and we can actually select our color and refresh. We should be able to print that. Just going to send that through the printer now. And that should send it across into the printer. And you can see the print is now coming up, getting ready to start. Okay,